Oh, the sound of a Chevy 302. No, I didn't misspeak. I did mean a Chevy 302. Ford isn't the only manufacturer to use the 302, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. Car aficionados, welcome to episode 2 of Virtual Gear, where I load up Gran Turismo 7 on the PS5 and take a look at the aesthetic and performance of different cars before we take them around Road Atlanta, all in VR using the PSVR2. Just a quick reminder, you can watch me race live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/DeaconDo. This 1969 Camaro was the last of many. It marked the end of Chevy's 302 engine, and it also ended the first generation of Camaro that lasted from 1967 to 1969. The origin of the Z28 nameplate came from the regular production option, or RPO codes. RPO Z28 was the code for the special performance package. Meanwhile, RPO Z27 was for the super sport package. We still have a good amount of chrome in this era, as both bumpers, door handles, side mirrors, vents behind each door, trim under each door, and wheels were dripping in chrome. On the rear we see the classic 3-light cluster, but squared off more than the previous years. As we move towards the front, you can see the 302 on the hood as opposed to the fender in front of each wheel, as was common for Chevrolet at the time. I remember being mocked in high school for stating that Chevy had a 302 and being told by so-called car experts that it was only a Ford engine and that I did not know what I was talking about. Well, history would show otherwise. Trans Am racers were production-based cars with engines of 305 cubic inches or less. Chevy worked a forged steel version of the 283 V8's crankshaft into a 327 V8 to get 302 cubic inches. Big port Corvette heads, solid lifters, a hot cam, a baffled oil pan, and a Holley 4-barrel on a tuned aluminum manifold were specified. Horsepower was rated at 290, but multiple sources claimed that it was closer to 360. Claims are made that Chevy wanted to keep the horsepower rating at 1 horsepower per cubic inch or less for insurance premium calculations and for classification in racing. I can tell you from personal experience that this does still hold true, as my 2004 Impala SS rated well above the advertised 240 horsepower when I put it on the dyno when I first got it. As we look at the interior, we see loads of black leather, which was common for the era. We see the shoulder seatbelt strap attached to the ceiling. It was actually 2 pieces, one for the lap, one for the shoulder. Chrome door handles, chrome locks, and of course our old school window openers, including window openers for the rear passengers for those tiny little windows on the back end. This week, turn 5 at the end of the S's proved to be a little bit more difficult than last week, with riding on the curb just a little bit could spin you in one direction or the other. That's not to say turns 1 and 3 did not have issues, but they were a lot less than last week with the 58 Corvette. Overall, I think this car was easier to get around the track. In our practice run, we got a 136.1 as our best time with a 134.9 for our optimal. It made me hopeful that we could get a sub 134, and after laps 2 and 3 of our timed run, we looked like we were heading that way. However, as we were getting ready to close out on lap 10, we had not beat our lap 3 time, so I called an audible and said, one more lap, and I'm glad I did. I'm going to bow out and let you listen to the sounds of the Z28 Camaro run around this track. But before I do, please stay tuned until the end of the show to see where this placed on the leaderboard. And also thank you for watching, and if you can, go ahead, hit that like button and the subscribe button. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.